Do you want someone else to try out products before you buy them? That's what Try It Before You Buy It's all about. This is volume 1 in our large library of buy it's. We have a face steamer, Ninja blender, Wise nightlight, the HyperChiller, pill dispenser, safety can opener, and the DropStop. See why all of these products are buy it's. Looking for a steamy way to put a little glow in your face, warmth to your towel, and some humidity in the air? Then the Nano face steamer might do the trick. But can it do all three? Let's try it. The Nano face steamer costs about $40 and comes with a steamer, a water reservoir, plus a bonus multi-purpose blackhead removing tool. We are definitely not testing out that blackhead tool today. It has 3 different modes of operation: towel warmer, face steamer, and humidifier. First up, we had to clean it. And to do that, you need white vinegar and some distilled water. After the cleanse, you're ready to roll. For all the features, the first step is to fill the reservoir with distilled water and drop it in. We tested out the warm towel option first. We used a bath hand towel because nothing fit the area properly. We followed the directions and steamed it. After removal, it was scalding hot to the touch. We had to use tongs, and it didn't feel worth the wait since it lost its heat so fast. Next, we tested out the face steaming feature. We added the water to the back, turned the dial to the face steamer, and in about 3 to 5 minutes, it was pumping out hot steam. We found one full take lasts about 15 minutes. The steam was intense. Our testers said they could feel their pores opening up. But when you're just standing by it, there were a few inconsistencies with the amount of steam. But if you put a towel or another covering over your head, it resolved this issue. Last step is a humidifier feature. It works, but it's very loud when compared to a dedicated humidifier. Overall, this worked great. It was like a mini sauna for your face, and a lot safer than boiling water on the stove. So the results. The positives: a great stream of steam, fast to heat up, and it was easy to use. And the negatives: you can only use distilled water, no dyes, perfumes, or anything else. The towel compartment is a bit of an odd size. It was too big for a washcloth and too small for a hand towel. Since this lived up to all of its claims, we rate this as a buy. Things not going smoothly with your smoothies? Looking for a blender with more power? This week, we test out the $80 Ninja Professional Blender. Does it blend or bust? Let's try it. Our first test was strawberry banana smoothies. We added the strawberries, then some ice, a banana, and other ingredients together. We pulsed it for a few minutes and then put it on high. It perfectly blended everything, including the ice. So for smoothies, it works. And also, cleanup was pretty quick and easy. Just slide the big blade out and rinse. Next, a frozen strawberry peach treat. We tossed in the frozen peaches, frozen strawberries, and other ingredients. Pulsed it a few times to get it started, and then blended it until it seemed to thicken. We poured it out and let it chill for a little bit, but it blended all of the frozen ingredients real nicely, and it didn't seem to have any trouble with the frozen elements. Then we made some salsa. We threw in all the ingredients and pulsed it a few times, and it blended everything up nicely. It delivered an excellent, even, chunky salsa. For our final test, we decided to test this blender against a Vitamix, like the top-of-the-line model Vitamix. For this, we decided to use 2 identical pre-made smoothie bags. We let the Ninja have a 4-minute head start. Even with that head start, it was no match for the Vitamix. But for costing a few $100s less, it did hold its own. The biggest flaw we found with the Ninja blender is the blade. The fin is huge, and it can get in the way sometimes. So, the results. The positives: powerful for the price. Everything we tested blended well. It's easy to clean. The negatives: the awkward blade can get in the way, and it's very sharp. Overall, the Ninja blender worked great, and the unique blades help blend better than most standard blenders. Because of this and the low price tag, we rate this as a buy it. Are you scared to go into dark places when you're alone? Need to shine a light on where to step? The Wise nightlights look to solve this problem, but do they work? Let's try it. The Wise nightlights come in a pack of 3 and are pretty simple to set up. You can turn it on, and it's on. Or you can set it to auto. Setting it to auto will turn on the motion sensing feature, so it will only come on in the dark when it senses motion. It's probably the only mode you'll use. One plus is if you turn on auto on multiple units, you can sync them all to turn on when one senses motion. This is helpful if you're illuminating a hallway, but you can also use it to notify you if somebody is lurking down that hallway as well. The lights have a magnetic backing, so you can stick them to any metal surface, or use the included metal mounting strips. The light output from these is about the same as a single candle, so it's not going to overpower you in the dark. These lights are all rechargeable, but don't come with any power cables to charge them with. Charging took about an hour, and they seem to last for quite a while. Our kit also included some cute little faces you can stick on them, as well as a stick-on metal plates to mount to the wall. Overall, these work pretty well, but one thing to mention is they are not smart lights, so there's no app to control them. The Wyze nightlights cost about 20 bucks for a 3-pack and come with everything you need to install them once. But again, one thing they are missing is a way to charge them. So, the results. The positives, they're easy to install, easy to link together multiple lights. And the negatives, no cables to charge the lights, and no extra mounting plates or tape. If you need a simple, easy pack of nightlights, we recommend these as a buy it. Tired of waiting 10 minutes in line at your favorite coffee shop because one guy wanted breakfast? Need an easier way to make iced coffee? The HyperChiller mug promises to deliver iced coffee or tea in the matter of minutes. Does it work? Let's try it. The HyperChiller mug is big and bulky. It barely fits in one hand. We immediately took it apart to fill it with water and chill it. The first thing we noticed was the water lines are very small and hard to make out. But other than that, filling the different chambers with water was pretty easy. And after filling it up, we placed it in the freezer. We left it in the freezer for a day, then took it out and placed it on the counter. We then took our freshly brewed coffee that was about 171 degrees, and after a few minutes of sloshing and twirling the coffee inside, we poured it into a cup, and immediately it dropped down to about a cool 58 degrees. So it worked. Next, we decided to try it with a can of Coke. Like before, we left it in the freezer and then poured the can of Coke in the top. It chilled the room temperature Coke down, but it also removed all the carbonation. So if you like cold flat Coke, this will do the trick. Last up was some hot tea. The HyperChiller took the 179 degree tea and chilled it down to about 51 degrees in the matter of minutes. The HyperChiller worked as advertised. One thing we did notice is that you can only fit about a cup and a half of liquid in it comfortably. So basically a single cup of coffee. So the results. The positives. Chill the drinks as promised. There's no dilution to your drink like you'd get from normal ice cubes. And the negatives. It's a bit bulky. It took up a little bit of space in the freezer. You only get about a cup and a half capacity, and it's not for soda. If you're looking for an easy way to chill your coffee or water-based beverage, then the HyperChiller is for you. Everything we poured in came out chilled, so we rate this as a buy it. Forgetting to take your pills? Need an easier way to keep track of your medication? The Live Fine automatic pill dispenser promises to be an easy, secure way to keep track of medication. But does it work? Let's try it. The Live Fine automatic pill dispenser comes in around $80 and promises up to 28 days of medication dispensing, depending on the doses. Inside the box, you'll find a dispenser, dosage range, instructions, 2 keys, plus the batteries. Installing the batteries was easy, and putting in the dosage ring went smooth as well. For this test, we went with the 2 dose a day ring. Next up is setting up the clock. It was pretty easy as well. Then we set the sound level for the alarms and then entered our desired medication times. The dispenser will deliver your medication at the times indicated every day. We noticed that the channels to fill your medication might be too narrow for some people to drop their pill into easily. After getting everything set up, we locked the top and waited. While we waited, we noticed that you could touch the dispenser and it would display the time. And when it was time for our medication, the device rotated to the next compartment and began alerting us with an alarm and a light. Once we turned over the dispenser, it stopped. Getting the medication out was simple. You slide the door back and then you turn it upside down to get it out. And when our next alarm event came up, it repeated the process. It continued this for days with no problems. We found the Live Fine automatic pill dispenser worked great for our test. It is a bit big, but it could make it a little easier for some people to hold and use. So the results. The positives. Easy to use and set up, and secure. The compartments are easy to clean. The alarm and the light were great for reminders. The negatives. The pill slots might be a little too complicated for some people to get the medications in. Durability for when it's dropped is a little bit questionable. If you're looking for a better medication solution or want to help out a loved one with theirs, the Live Fine automatic pill dispenser should do the trick. Since it lived up to its promises, we rate this as a buy it. Looking for a new can opener? Want one that doesn't give you a sharp edge? The Safety Can Express promises to give you an easy way to open cans with an edge safe to the touch. But does it work? Let's try it. The Safety Can Express came as one piece in the box, but it's not too heavy, and the metal front plate was actually plastic. But the can opening parts are metal and seem solid. We tried it out with 3 different size cans, small, average, and large. Plus, we had a varying degree of dents for it to open through. The first can was a regular sized one. It seemed to work like any other can opener, but it is a little harder to tell when the can is done opening since it opens from the side. When we took off the lid, some of the sealer from the top of the can was exposed, but the edge was smooth to the touch. Plus, you can place the lid back on the can without it falling back in. Next, we did the large can. It cycled a little slower in the opener, but we had no trouble opening it. Again, the lid was nice and smooth, and you could put the lid back on if needed. The smallest can was super dented, and the can opener muscled through most of it, but the heavily damaged area would make it stop. We were able to open up the can by bending back the lid, but almost no can opener would have completely opened this. One thing we did notice was that you had to keep pushing the handle down to open a can. It might be automatic, but only while pushing down the handle. So, the results. The positives. It's easy to use, lets you reuse can lids, and there's no sharp edges. And the negatives. You must push it down to open the can. It's not fully automatic. Opening cans from the side reveals glues on some cans. Overall, the Safety Can Express passed all of our tests. It only tripped up when facing a can that was a little heavily dented. So if you're in the market for a smooth edge safety can opener, we rate this as a buy it. Is there a black hole in your car? One that sucks in items dropped from your pockets and even devours your food? If there's only a way to fill the gap, the DropStop promises to do just that. But does it work? Let's try it. The DropStop comes with 2 soft tubes to install in your car. This also came with a few bonus items like a light and a sticky phone holder. First up, we installed the DropStop in an SUV, and they fit like a glove. It just took a few seconds to install. Then we tried everybody's favorite thing, French fries. No fry slip past the DropStop, and the only thing left behind was some salt, and that was easy to shake off. We then experimented with dropping a pen, and it worked great. The pen just landed on the seat, making it easy to grab. The same thing happened with a cell phone we tested. It would bounce and just lay there. You could even use it to hold the phone if you wanted to in a pinch. Lastly, we tested it with some chips, and as with all the other tests, it didn't let a crumb fall between the seats. So then you'll have some extra chips to eat later on your seat instead of the floor. We did try it in a second car, an Audi A8, but it would not fit. There was no way to squeeze it in between the seats. Overall, this worked great. That is, if it fits your vehicle. So make sure you can return it just in case. So, the positives. When it fits, it works great. It's easy to install and easy to clean. But the negatives. It doesn't fit all seats. It only comes in one color. And the durability, it's a little questionable. We can't confirm it fits all vehicles, but when it does fit, it fulfills all the promised claims. So we rate this as a buy it. Don't forget, you can see past Try It Before You Buy It's at 13onyourside.com/tryit. Until next time, I'll keep trying it before you buy it.